Well, I say it's a day, and really don't feel $1 million. I try not to look. Mental. I've just been to the doctors, and they're on about mental health, and there's a lot of famous people that suffered from mental health, and mine is well documented over the years. But a lot had to do with drink, and at the moment I don't drink. You can see I don't look at $1 million by a long way. I'm actually going to go out and get my hair cut today and see what I can do. But mental health can stem from a lot of things. Well, firstly, number one is this operation, having to sit in one position and do as little as possible. Rest. That's what, rest, Roger, you've got to rest. Roger, you've got to rest. It's very, very hard. And I've been watching the Paralympics, and I was always like years ago when I first opened the Cry, they said, "Oh, you've got to have like wheelchair access." Bloody hell! And it was like, we've got to do this and everything. But since over the years, it's really made me appreciate people who've got disabilities. You know what I mean? I was there the other day, and a guy had pulled half on the pavement, and so the person couldn't get past in the wheelchair, and said, "Look, I can't get." He said, "Well, I can't get off the pavement." And there was a big drop. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything because I had a word with the guy. I said, "Come on, mate, move on," blah blah blah. But I mean, looking at the Paralympics, and just to be able to get up and go out when you've got a disability. I think the worst is not when you're born with a disability, but when it happens to you when you've been very able and physically, out there, doing whatever. I mean, I was a good sportsman when I was young, and maybe not so good today, But I'd say I've got to get through this 6 weeks, and there's nothing that I can do about it. I'm supposed to go to do something, but I don't really feel like doing it. It involves travel. So I'm going to phone the doctor and see exactly what the doctor says, because the doctor says I can't do anything for 6 weeks. Anyway, that's sort of the main thing I wanted to get onto today really is mental health and how it comes along, and how it could affect you in your everyday life. Decisions, like things that normally seem absolutely nothing to you, are massive, like little decisions, and it's not great. And I'm going through quite a bad patch at the moment. And as I say, I tried not to come on and do the programme when I'm going through a bad patch, but I don't feel 1,000,000%, not by a long way. And there's a lot of pressures on me, but I have to fight through them. And at the end of the day, it's I've been through a divorce. My kids don't talk to me. Maybe the Roger. Let me tell you something now. How everything sort of came about in the way I am at the moment. Forget the divorce, okay. I was on a plane and had an embolism, and the oxygen was cut off to my brain for a while. And that was in March last year. And since March last year, I've had a few other incidents that have come along, like this operation and things. And I've always felt like when I'm talking on I've talked to other people recently about this, and they said, "Yeah, we know exactly where you're coming from." And I thought it was on my own. I come on the programme and I'm talking as though it's about me, but it's as though I'm talking about this Roger McKim character next to me, this Roger McKim. But the Roger McKim character has got closer and closer and closer, and he's very close now to me actually talking about me. I'm not quite there. I know I'm not quite there. And it's been a massive learning curve as far as I'm concerned on life in general. I don't. I mean, who knows how long they've got to live? But most certainly, a lot of people that I know have been dying recently. A big one last year was Steve Fell, always fit and what have you, and he just went like. And somebody else who nobody else knows has died this week, and. It's been quite upsetting, really. And I've been in touch with a few other people about stress and about mental health. And as I say, mine is well documented about my mental health, but I battle on. I keep going on to politics, and I see that Keir Starmer, what do they call him, Kia or whatever it is now. He's up against it in the vote today on this winter fuel allowance. I actually qualified for the winter fuel allowance, and you know, I've been dead honest. I put everything in there. Everything's there. But what has sort of brought it home? I'm going around different places. Everybody's talking about Keir Starmer. Everywhere you go, well, I've never voted. I've not. Everything's I've not. And you know, but what are they going to do about him? What are they going to do? And some of the things that people say are pretty drastic. Let me tell you. But bloody hell, we seem to be going through a very, very weird patch as a British citizen. Yeah, sometimes you don't feel like answering the doors, and often don't. There's some people working next door. That's where that comes from. But you have to deal with life and get on with it. I'm going to get a bath and a shower and things. I might even get my hair cut and see if I feel a bit better. But just to let you know that I try not to bring my problems onto the big screen. But yeah, you know, things do get to you, and as I say, I'm on my own. I've got to sort it all out. So I'm going to try and keep a bit of an update most days, because I think things can only get better. All right, I'll love you and leave you, and as I say, I've got to go because if I don't go, I can't come back. Bye.